This is Mike Barr reporting for a video news service, and I'm here with Amy. Amy, why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on today?
Well, today we're here in front of former Congressman Hastert's office. We have 274 constituents that signed a MoveOn.org petition stating that Americans don't want another disastrous war in Iran. Congress must act now and make it clear that President Bush has no authority to strike Iran. And we want to support Representative Abercrombie's Resolution 64, and it says that the 2002 authorization of military force against Iraq does not give Bush the authority to attack Iran. And we're here to make sure that Congress hears that, even though at the moment we don't have any specific political representation. Since Congressman Hastert has resigned, no one speaks for us in Congress from the 14th District currently. We're the local council that is contacted for events such as this in order to get the word out and the message out that we need to make sure that President Bush doesn't feel he can do whatever he wants, that he speaks for our country and not for himself.
I think MoveOn is ahead of the Democratic Party when it comes to taking the right position on issues, especially the Iraq War and now the pending war with Iran. For those of you who have not read the National Intelligence Estimate, the report reads on page 5, we judge, this is we being the intelligence community, with high confidence that in the fall of 2003, Tehran halted its nuclear weapons program. This is one more example of how the Republicans' rhetoric is a far cry from the reality that we see in the world today. And while it's safe to say that the president is misleading the American people using fear of a stalled nuclear program to justify a third war, I think it's also safe to say that America needs new leaders who have the courage to challenge this line of thinking. In addition to simply opposing the war, I think we could also talk about what we could do instead. And I just wanted to bring your attention to this book. If nobody's read it, it's called 3 Cups of Tea. It's a fascinating book written by Greg Mortensen. Greg Mortensen was a mountain climber who was climbing K2 in Pakistan. And in a near-death experience, he was saved by some villagers and in one of the villages on the mountainside, and he decided to use a good portion of his life to help the Pakistani people. So he went about building schools in Pakistan. Not one school, but 50 schools throughout Pakistan, and many of these are in Taliban territory. Now, I think that this is a great way to forward a peace-oriented goal. And now to put this in perspective, the price of a Tomahawk missile is $900,000. The price of one of Greg Mortensen's schools is $25,000. So for the price of a cruise missile, essentially we could build 36 schools in impoverished areas in Pakistan and throughout the world. Now, which do you believe is a better way to promote democracy and a more productive counterterrorism effort? Should we drop bombs or should we build schools? Throughout my time in the Middle East, and I served for 3 years of my military career as an intelligence analyst, I learned that the Iranian people are open to Western culture, advanced science-based, fact-based thinking. Students at Iranian universities recently used the National Intelligence Estimate report to challenge their hard right-wing government's line of thinking. And they used our intelligence reports to say this is an opportunity to open the door of trust between the United States and Iran. And I just want to say that I think that if we consider the great opportunity that exists between ourselves and the Iranian people, we stop the exaggerated nuclear claims and instead engage in a peace-oriented, productive efforts that would truly extend democracy, I think it would be a better world. Really, what we really need in Washington is strong leaders to stand up, and I know that the MoveOn community has been a powerful voice in opposing the president's both preemptive war with Iraq and preemptive war with Iran, and I think that they're ahead of the Democratic Party, and we have an amazing opportunity here on March 8th to send a message to the Democratic Party about what direction we need to go, and that we need to use courage instead of capitulating to fear. What's that? I could go on and on with what's wrong with her. as could anyone here. If you haven't, we're john08.com. I am also a military family member. If anybody else does have military members over there, now's a tough time for guys. I served over there for 3 years, and I always took watch on Christmas Day and Thanksgiving Day because I knew that what it's like to be with your family. And I didn't have a family at that time, but I know there's still a lot of men and women that are serving. So if you haven't sent a Christmas package, or just keep them in your thoughts this Christmas season,
How's your brother doing?
He's doing good. He's not there right now.